Doctor Strange 2 kinda blows, dog. I was seriously going into this with an open mind, and I was expecting a really great addition to the MCU that was for sure gonna kick the first movie's ass. Not to say the first movie is bad, because it genuinely is one of the best origin movies in the MCU itself, with it arguably having the best visuals in any Marvel movie as well. Multiverse of Madness, I'd say, takes the visuals and everything Raimi was involved with, almost took the character to the next level. Keyword almost, because it actually would've had the movie not literally suck in every other department. The first thing I want to get out of the way is just talking about Doctor Strange's arc in this movie. And the reason why I say arc like that is because in actuality, he has nothing going on in this movie. Yeah, he's stopping the multiverse, but most MCU movies contain characterization and growth that our heroes go under while going through the story more and more. But Strange quite literally dilly-dags with America while trying to get quote-unquote closure, I guess. But this comes off as really weird for Strange because in the first movie, we see how Steven went from a selfish to a dude who's willing to make the hard sacrifices for the greater good, and one of the sacrifices he made was giving up on Christine entirely, since he was the one who lured her away in the first place and he knows it's his fault. But despite that, he knows he has to keep on moving forward. So why is it that in this movie he's just like, I wish we stayed together? Like, where the f did this come from, bro? We couldn't have Strange having maybe like a mental conflict because of what he did against Thanos. They even mentioned this too, by the way. And this could also go into his and Wanda's conflict because he had to make supposedly the one hard choice to win. But instead, we just get one scene of this and it's the guy saying, oh yeah, I got snapped and my cats died. What? In my opinion, the one opportunity they had to make Doctor Strange grow as a character, they just kind of blew it off. It seems like to me, Doctor Strange is the one character with the least going on in the movie, and the movie is called Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Anyways, let's talk about the other character that this movie focuses on, aka Wanda. Wanda is somehow even worse than Strange because despite her actually having stuff going on in this movie, hell, even more than Strange does, her entire motivation is straight up dumb. She tries to make it seem like there's a duality between her and Strange, right? They both shake up the rules of the multiverse, but the only difference is that Strange is a hero, but when she does it, she's the villain. But there's a big difference here though, because that is not what the conflict is at all. Strange and her go on to talk about it more when they are fighting, and Wanda is literally going to travel to another universe, kill that version of herself, just to be with her kids and satisfy herself with her own twisted fantasy. And the moment Strange asks her what happens to their mother, she literally knows she's proven wrong, so she just attacks him. Strange straight up questions her morality, and her first instinct is to just try and eliminate this man. Then later in the movie, she literally gets what she wants just to realize that Doctor Strange was right in the end. And honestly, I do not care that her mind is being altered by her counterpart or whatever they tried saying to justify her actions. Regardless, Wanda is a meathead. But to be fair, Wanda to me was just never one of my favorite characters in the MCU regardless, because the most depth she's ever had was, my boyfriend died. Now, the story for Doctor Strange is probably the worst part of the film, with America feeling so soulless as a character and mainly sort of used to just get the plot going. She has the power to travel around the multiverse, but she can't control it. But get this, she stands on a flashback button and we see her entire origin displayed on a TV screen. And then we cut to all the way at the end of the movie, and the reason why I say we cut to the end of the movie is because America literally has zero growth throughout the entire film, until Strange just says, oh yeah, in actuality, you can control your power. And then she just actually manages to control it. What? Like, this is the equivalent of Goku saying to Cell that Gohan is going to take over because he believes in him, right? But just imagine in this timeline, Gohan, after hearing that, just goes Super Saiyan 2 and turns Cell to dust. If you're gonna tell me this isn't the closest thing to a Mary Sue, then I don't know what is. And I'm sorry for using this term because I actually dislike it, but she just comes off as a plot device and is mainly there to not only have Strange and Wanda interact, but also have Wanda be proven wrong. Like, she literally has nothing going for her character-wise. Like, she's kind of funny, she's not confident because of her powers, but besides that, what traits / personality does America have? Well, I can tell you, she's almost as charismatic as Demon King Deborah. The Illuminati show up just to all get folded 10 minutes later after their introduction, and honestly, if they were only there for some cool fights, then might as well add some new characters to the team. Like, Carter and Captain Marvel did not need to be there in my opinion. Why couldn't we get my goat Namor, Superior Iron Man, maybe an alternate version of Hulk or Thor? Just someone for Wanda to just have a big ol' scrap with, because if the whole team is just gonna get dropped like this, then might as well have your most interesting character not be goddamn Mr. Fantastic and Black Bolt. The movie's pacing is also very weird since 40 minutes of the actual movie was cut, so there's times where things move a little too fast, and then by the last 15 minutes, it kind of felt like 30 minutes with how much stuff was getting stretched out. And speaking of stretch, my goat Jim from The Office as Mr. Fantastic and Professor X were the highlights of the movie for me, along with the visuals and overall direction of Sam Raimi. Like, every scene had meaning, depth, and Raimi really brought back the Evil Dead horror, Bruce Campbell, and Danny Elfman in the MCU. And like how I said, the visuals are insane, and to me, this is Marvel's best looking movie. But in terms of actual story and what this movie stands for, it just crumbles on itself. I'm giving this a 4 out of 10, and the only reason it's a 4 out of 10 is because Sam Raimi carried. Thank you, Raimi. You are my goat. But besides that, this movie smells like shit.